Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.com/zip. That's ziprecruiter.com/zip. ziprecruiter.com/zip.
When we started writing our thoughts down on paper, it opened up endless possibilities. Ideas could grow beyond the borders of the mind, and it changed the world. Somewhere along the way, we lost touch with paper, distracted by devices made for every purpose except for thinking and focus. On edge, waiting for the next notification. But what if new technology didn't pull us away from paper, but brought us closer to it? Listen. That's not paper. It's the sound of the new Remarkable Paper Pro, rewriting the future. A paper tablet with a true color ink display, gentle reading light, and unheard of tactility. With digital features for taking notes, thinking, and organizing, without any distractions. Paper is about to change the world again. Get your paper tablet at remarkable.com today.
Welcome to the CJ Moneyway Show podcast, the podcast show where we unlock potential one dream at a time. Today, we have another guest whose journey is truly worth hearing. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the Moneyway experience.
What's up, my good people? Welcome to the CJ Moneyway Show, in association with Believe Network, the podcast where we uncover inspiring stories and proven strategies from top leaders and entrepreneurs shaping the future of success and wealth building. Today, we had the honor of speaking to my man Charles, founder of CHN Advisors. Charles' story is one of perseverance and vision. As an immigrant who built his American dream from the ground up, he has become an expert in exemplifying taxes and financial planning to empower middle-class Americans to build generational wealth. With a background in managing family offices, Charles has witnessed firsthand the power of strategic financial planning. Now he's on a mission to have us to access wealth building tools for everyday professionals and entrepreneurs. I can't wait to dive into his journey and hear the invaluable financial insights he has for us. Charles, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, CJ. Excited to be here. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Hey, so Charles, man, let's kick things off, man, by learning a little bit more about you, man, and about your background. And what inspired you to create CHN Advisors?
So, CJ, I'm excited. Thank you for having me on the show. Just excited to be here. I'm a first-generation immigrant from Africa into this country. I moved to this country some 13 years ago. I had been working for PwC. I started working for PwC in Africa, then to the UK, back to Africa, then to the US, still with PwC. I was a partner for PwC for 6 out of 17 years in the firm. And PwC is a firm that helps the largest corporations in the world. And it also helps the most affluent individuals in the world. Mm-hmm. And we help them. What do you help them for? You help them to build wealth. You help them to structure their estates. You help them to avoid taxes. And that's what we were doing for all those years. So when I left PwC in the Midlands, I had only one way, starting my own business. I had to start doing what we had done for the top 1% to the middle class. Because I believe that the middle class is the one that's being screwed in the economy. The top 1% are the ones who understand how the system works. Mm-hmm. They use the best people to get access to what builds wealth, asset protection, tax mitigation, wealth building. and they build wealth on the back of the middle class. So I thought it was time for us to also be able to give that type of value to the middle class so that they too can take advantage of the American dream.
Man, I like that, man, especially in the times we're in right now. And you know what I'm saying, the things that they doing right now, it couldn't be a better time for what you're doing for the middle class families and, you know what I'm saying, and the lower class families, man. So I commend you for what you're doing, man, trying to, you know, move on and help those that are less fortunate, man, build generational wealth. So keep it going, Charles, man, keep it going. So, Charles, let me ask you, man. Your story is incredibly inspiring. As someone who immigrated to the U.S. and built your dream from scratch, can you share what those early days were like and how you found your passion for financial planning?
So, thank you for that question, CJ. I mean, I come from a very humble beginning, very humble beginning. When I grew up, I had one dream: change the lives of the people around me. Change the life of my community. As an African, we are community people. We are people who work as a community to help one another. I was fortunate to be able, I started my career with one of the largest firms in the world. It was just being by fortune. So when you go in there, you start learning how the wealthy have been able to do what they are doing all around the world. I was in the UK, I did the same thing. I was in Africa, I did the same thing. Came to the United States, the same thing. And in America, it's even more important because in America, we are a capitalist economy. And capitalism means that everything that has to do with economic building is in the hands of the private sector. And when you talk about private sector, you're talking about every other person in the economy. When you talk about the private sector, you're talking about you, me, everybody, the private equity. America is built by private equity. And unfortunately, that private equity in America is built by the top 1%. The top 1% is what they call the capitalists. Every other person depends on the top 1%. But the game that the guys are doing is a game that we too can implement because it's part of the tax structure. America is structured, the system, the government creates a platform for us to play the game. The only reason we are not playing the game is because we don't know how the system works. So if we don't know how the system works, and we are the hardest working people in this country, somehow the only thing we need to do is to take that one step further in understanding the system, implementing it. We too will be in the top 1%. That is our game. I come from that place where we are the community. We are the community, the ones who work for the top 1%. But we too can change the game. That's why we're talking about this. That's why we are on every platform to tell people that, hey, this game, the American dream that we're looking for is nowhere else. It's in the tax code. Let's use the tax code to build our own estates as well, like the top 1%.
Man, hey, keep going on every platform you can go on, Charles, man, because we need this, man. We need this in this hour, man. And, you know, I'm listening because, hey, I want to learn too. I want to know myself, man. So keep shooting these nuggets, man, and keep doing what you're doing, see? Hey, so let me ask you, Charles, man. You've worked with family offices that manages, as you've been talking about, significant wealth. How did those experiences shape your approach to making health building strategies accessible to middle class people?
That's a great question. I mean, I didn't set out to go and work in a family office. I didn't set out to become a consultant for PwC. It was by chance that I got into this community. And when you get into these communities, you start realizing that, hey, there is so much in this economy that we, the middle class, we are not aware of. And it starts shaping the way you think. Our thought process, our mindsets, we have been built. We have been monitored to become those people that are thinking the way the top 1% wants us to think. Our mindsets are shaped by someone else. We have to unthink the way we're thinking right now. And we have to start thinking the way that we too can do those things that the top 1% does. For example, let me give you an example. Most of us in our communities, we've been made to understand that when you make money, you have to pay taxes. The higher the income, the more taxes we pay. We've been made to understand that the economy, the government works on our taxes. That's a fallacy. The government of the United States doesn't need you to pay taxes. It doesn't. The tax code is structured to make sure that when you only pay taxes because you did not do something right. You did not contribute to the economy. You did not build your own wealth. The tax code says that. The tax code does not say that you must pay taxes. It doesn't say that. The tax code says you must file your tax returns. And when you file tax returns, you pay the least legal tax liability, the minimum legal tax liability. So the minimum legal tax liability that you should pay, that you are paying for you and me, maybe $50,000, $100,000, $500,000, because we're making income, because we're generating income. But that same minimum legal tax liability for Elon Musk, who is the wealthiest person on earth, is zero. For Donald Trump, is zero. If nothing shapes your understanding, if nothing shapes your thinking, that changes the way you think. And if you start thinking that way, the next thing is, why is it that my people are not taught this thing that is so flagrant, that is so clear for people to understand? Why is it that the people in our communities don't understand this? Most people in our communities, if you ask them, they will tell you that it is patriotic to pay taxes. It is actually patriotic, more patriotic not to pay taxes. It is more patriotic to use the tax code to build the economy. Because the economy of America doesn't rely on your taxes. The government in America, let me tell you something. A capitalist economy owns nothing. A capitalist economy owns nothing. The government of the United States does not own anything. They don't own the land. When you have land in America, you own even the subsoil. If there's oil in that land, it belongs to you. Everywhere else in the world, if you own land, the subsoil belongs to the government. Now, if you own here, when they say the government owns oil reserves, their federal reserves of oil, when they want to produce that, when they want to start exploring, they push it to the private sector. The government doesn't own any national oil company. The government doesn't own the roads that we move on. The government doesn't own real estate. The government doesn't hire people. The highest number of people that the government hires is about 2% of the population, 1.7% of the population. Those are the military and a few people in the government sector. So if the government needs to build real estate, need all these things that they need, and they cannot do it themselves, who do they expect to do it? It's the private sector. And the private sector is who? It's not just the top 1%, it's you and me. So it means that if you made $100,000 in income, and then you take $30,000 of that money, and you go and buy real estate with that money, the tax code tells you that as long as it's an income producing asset, you can take that asset. If you qualify, you can cost segregate that asset, and then it will wipe off your entire tax liability with it. Because you took that asset, you took that money, you took the $100,000, which was your income, you take the $30,000 out of it, you are able to buy assets for $300,000 by leveraging other people's money. So when you leverage other people's money, you structure in a certain way, you can cost segregate it and wipe even that ordinary income of $100,000 that you did, and then your taxable income is zero. The wealthy people are playing the game. They know all the different strategies because they work with the best people. They work with the family offices. They are not paying a dime in taxes. Then in our communities, we are made to understand that when you make money, you have to pay taxes. It's a fallacy. America doesn't need your taxes. America needs you to build the economy of the United States. And if you build the economy of the United States, you get wealthy. Wealth doesn't pay taxes in America. Wealth does not pay taxes. Income pays a lot of taxes. And what type of income? It is ordinary activity income. That income that you use effort in doing. Passive activity income doesn't pay taxes. Ordinary activity income pays a lot in taxes. And that's where most of us find ourselves. We are all earning money. We are making $500,000 because we work very hard. We're working $1 million because we work very hard. And guess what? We're the ones paying 50% of that money in taxes. That is called slavery. You're working for the system. You can work the system for your own benefit and for the benefit of America. That is one we have to communicate more and more to our economies and show them that this tax code that we've been made to think that this thing is there to make us pay taxes, is actually a wealth building machine. But unfortunately, it's only doing it for the top 1% now. We need to become part of the top 1%.
Man, I hope y'all listening to this. If you didn't catch what he said, rewind and go back. He say, let's stop working for the man and start playing the game. You know what I'm saying? The same game that they playing, man. I'm liking it. See, hey, so see, man, Charles, starting CHN Advisors was a bold move. You know, with your experience, you say you did it in the UK, you did it where you from. What motivated you to take that leap and focus on empowering everyday Americans with financial knowledge?
Great question. You know, when you start working as a young man, you're working in an environment where you meet some of the people who are the guys who are playing the game. And you stay there for so long, you become accustomed to it. You start thinking that everybody is thinking that way. Mm-hmm. When I left PwC, I went to a smaller firm in the Midwest. And the idea, when I joined that smaller firm, the whole idea was completely different. Instead of helping clients of mine avoid taxes and structure them to build wealth, we were more about helping them calculate their tax bill to pay taxes. And that was, for me, was a no-go. Because that's not what I had learned. My whole idea was, why are we doing this? If somebody comes to me who made $1 million, my goal should be, how do I make this guy to become more wealthy with the money that he's supposed to bill taxes? Because I want to structure him to take that $500,000 that he's giving to Uncle Sam to buy an asset, because $500,000 will give you 10% down for $5 million of asset. Wealth is in that assets. So if you let me repeat, when you make $1 million in the United States, for someone who is in a state like California, federal income taxes for you is 37%. So 37% is about $370,000 of that money is going to Uncle Sam in the form of federal income taxes. And then state taxes is 12.3%. So another $123,000 is going to state taxes. If you add those two, how much is that? Almost $500,000. So you're making $1 million, you're giving $500,000 to Uncle Sam. What is that? That's slavery. That's exactly what we used to do before as slaves. So basically, if you don't understand that what made me to start doing this, when I started looking at people and I saw that most of the people in our middle class, they are being told a different story and they play the game with CPAs, and most CPAs are just tax accountants. They are not tax strategists. They are there just to help you calculate your tax bill, put it through a system, calculate it and tell you, hey, this is what you have to pay. That's not what I learned how to do. I learned how to help people save on taxes. And then use those tax savings to build the American economy with. And in that process, making wealth for yourself. That is the game. The tax code tells you that you can build anything with the tax code. You can build anything. And that is why I thought this was a crusade for our own communities, because we too can become the next generation of Jews in America by doing what they are doing to be what they are. We can do it as well.
Man, I'm liking it, man. I'm liking it. Let's keep going, see, man. Let's keep going, y'all. Financial planning, as we're talking about building wealth and things of that nature. Financial planning and taxes can feel overwhelming for many of us. What are the biggest misconceptions people have when it comes to managing their finances?
Most people have been taught that we must save a lot of money to build wealth, that we have to save. And in our communities, having debt is like a no-go. Mm-hmm. Debt is bad. We grow up being told that debt is bad. Mm-hmm. Don't have debt. So now we grow up in a capitalist economy. Let me tell you something about capitalism. Capitalism is a system where people are incentivized to spend, because it's by spending that you multiply the money. Every dollar that goes from your hand to the next hand, it becomes $2. To the next person, it becomes $3. That's what they call the multiplier effect of money. That's what makes capital. That's how you grow the economy, by spending. And capitalism is a system where we spend. We're incentivized to spend. That's number one. It means that when you make income, ordinary income, half of it is being taken in the form of taxes. Mm-hmm. You are left with only half to spend. The economy is incentivizing you to spend more. You don't have money. So most of us, that's why most of the middle class, you ask them, how much do they have in savings? They don't have $1,000. They don't. They don't have $1,000 in the bank account. So if you were to live in this economy and base all your wealth on saving to build wealth, you would end up broke because you have nothing. The only way the economy will incentivize you to even take more credit cards, to buy more of those things that maybe at times you need or maybe you don't even need, but which the economy is incentivizing you to buy. Our game, therefore, in this economy, our game, therefore, should be, what are the things that we've been told fallaciously that we must do? I mean, I'm not telling people not to save. If you could, yes, save. But the wealthy in America, they are the most indebted. There are two types of debt. There's what you call income-producing debt. And there's what you call expenditure debt. So you get debts, credit card debts to go and buy jewelry, or go and buy that nice car, which is your personal car, or go and buy a big house, which is bigger than what you need. That puts you in what you call the rat race, where you cannot build wealth again because you stuck yourself in debts that have been entangled for the next 30 years. So throughout your lifetime, you're working to pay those debts. Instead, what the economy wants you to do, what the capitalist system wants you to do, and no one teaches you that in the school, is that you should use the debt that is given to you. Because when you come out of a good school, look at anybody who comes out of a good school, the first thing that you get out there is a bunch of credit cards that are coming to you. Take money, take money. You have all these letters that are coming to you. But we are not told to do it the right way. You take that debt is telling you that take money and invest in income producing assets. So we take it. Some of us just say no. Either we are being told that we don't like debt and we're going to live on our income, and then we give most of the money to Uncle Sam. Or those who like the debt, they are taking to buy jewelry and buy that nice house, that big car. And then we're stuck in a 30-year loan that we will not be able to pay. So we just talk ourselves, anything that takes money out of your pocket is a liability. Anything that adds money to your pocket is an asset. So you save the debts that's given to you. So that thing that we are being told that do not use debt, do not get into debt, is just a fallacy that our parents told them. Because they didn't know any better. Nobody told them what to do. Debt is there for you to build wealth in a capitalist economy. And there is no country in the world that has more access to capital than the United States. But unfortunately, those of us in the middle class, those of us, people like you and me, we don't understand how that thing works. So we either run away from it or we go and overuse it in buying jewelry and things that we don't need, that just put us in the back. And then we start saying our credit is messed up, everything is messed up, we can't build anything anymore. So that is why we are in this crusade to tell people that, look, there is a way out. We have to understand how the system works and be able to leverage other people's money to build wealth just like the top 1% and avoid taxes. So you take money, the system is such that you make money, you go and use it, leverage and borrow other people's money, and then you go and acquire assets with other people's money, and then those assets give money to you, and then they also help you avoid taxes.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic!
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/zip to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip.
When we started writing our thoughts down on paper, it opened up endless possibilities. Ideas could grow beyond the borders of the mind, and it changed the world. Somewhere along the way, we lost touch with paper, distracted by devices made for every purpose except for thinking and focus. On edge, waiting for the next notification. But what if new technology didn't pull us away from paper, but brought us closer to it? Listen. That's not paper. It's the sound of the new Remarkable Paper Pro, rewriting the future. A paper tablet with a true color ink display, gentle reading light, and unheard of tactility. With digital features for taking notes, thinking, and organizing, without any distractions. Paper is about to change the world again. Get your paper tablet at remarkable.com today.
I think if it's that simple, why are we not doing it? We should be doing it as well. We should be playing the game. If you ask Donald Trump how much debt he has probably more debt than the money we're talking about, than the billions that he has. Because debt, if well used, make you wealthy. Wealth is in assets. Wealth is not in income.
Wow, man. Hey, man, keep teaching us the game, man. Keep teaching us the game, Charles. Hey, so let me ask you, Charles, man, in your opinion, what are the foundational steps that someone should start taking today to start building generational wealth?
Great question. Great question. I'll tell you something. There are 3 steps to wealth building. 3 steps. All right, this is so important. This is such an important question. The 3 steps to wealth building. The first step to wealth building is income generation. So the question we should be asking ourselves, our children, how do we educate our children? Is we educate our children into income generation. Because the way you have access, nobody gives money to somebody who's broke. If you're broke, the banking system will not give you money. Nobody will give you money. Even your family, your brother doesn't give you money if you don't have money.
Exactly.
Yes, that's nature. So the first step to building wealth is income generation, which means that if you're out there and you are not making money yet, there are so many programs that are sponsored by the United States government to make you go to where you want to go. If you want to go to a program, to a good school, you can take financial aid and go to the good school. Do what you need to do on the foundational basis to make sure that you have the first $200,000, $200,000. When you get the first $100,000, now you're making income. You can grow the income, but you have to generate income. And America, there's no place in the world that will give you access to those primary things that give you access to income like the United States. So you take income. The first thing I tell my children is that I need you to be in that place where you're generating income. And once you generate income, there is no other school. The other thing I'm going to tell you is that everybody in Washington, D.C., the President of the Republic, the senators, the Congress people, They are all there, being put there by some top 1%. They are all being put there by some capitalists who sponsor their campaigns. So when they sponsor these campaigns and you go through these campaigns, guess what? You don't work for, no matter what they say, all the noise, they are working for the people who place them there. They are working for the people who place them there. That is why the things that you're supposed to be educated, your educational system is a problem for the top 1%. Because they want to make sure that they teach you those things that will help you understand that you can go to school and then work for them instead of working for yourself. So this education we're talking about, which I say it's a crusade for us to understand how the system works, it is so, so important because it's a mind changer for us. And you will not get it in the mainstream educational circle. You will not get it there. You will go there to learn how to be the best employee, how to be the best physician working for a company, how to be the best doctor, how to be the best attorney working for a company, or working for, you're all being taught how to become an employee for the system. Whereas the top 1% knows that they don't need to be an employee for the system to be winning. So the first thing is you generate income for yourself, and then now you need companies like ours to structure you into the next step for wealth building. The next step for wealth building is asset accumulation. When you start making money, you're making that 100,000, $500,000, $1 million. The next thing that comes to you is now I want to acquire assets. I want to buy that $1 million mansion for myself. I want to buy that nice car for myself. I want to buy that crazy watch for myself. And that is where we get into the rat race, because we buy all the wrong assets. Instead of acquiring assets, we acquire liabilities that get us stuck for the next 30 years in debt. So now we're working. Instead of sitting in that big house that we bought for ourselves, we cannot even sit there to watch TV because we have to work. Otherwise, the house is going to be foreclosed on us. So we get into that rat race where we are actively working. We're just walking around the circle just to pay bills and then give our taxes to Uncle Sam. So asset accumulation stage of wealth building, which is the second phase, becomes where you need people like us to help you structure and acquire wealth in the right way. Not acquire liabilities, acquire wealth. I usually tell people that your home is your first liability, is your first problem. The home that you buy is your first problem. The second thing is that car that you buy is another problem for you. So instead of buying, I have clients who work for me, clients who can work with me, who own about 50 properties, but they are rented. They're in a rental property. Do you think they're stupid? They're not. So asset accumulation is a critical phase. In our communities, we believe that our biggest wealth is in our homes. That's what we've been taught to believe. So we always think that, okay, I want to pay off my home because that's my biggest, that's what I want to leave for my kids. Whereas the other people, that home has equity. The equity is sitting in some bank, and some top 1% is using your equity to build wealth. You too could have used that equity to build a lot of wealth for yourself. First step, income generation. Second step, asset accumulation. And then when you accumulate assets, then you have to protect the assets. Why? Because America is inherently litigious in nature. Everybody wants to sue you when you're making money. You talk to anybody who wants to take you to, he wants to sue you because they believe that when you make money, you have money that they can extort for you. Capitalism does not mean people are nice. Capitalism is greedy. Capitalism is greedy. So that those are the stages. Those are the things that you need to understand in order to play this game. Number one, go out there and make money. Get serious. Go out there, do the things that are going to make you start making money. And when you start making money, you look for the right people to accompany you. We don't have family offices in our communities. We don't. We always think that the CPA is the guy who's going to help me. The CPA is no good. It's no better. He doesn't know better. He's going to teach you only what he knows. And he only tells you that, oh, you make money, you have to pay taxes. That's what he knows. He doesn't know. It's not a strategist to structure you. That's why we need strategists as our number one bet. Because a strategy firm is not about one person. If somebody's alone and tells you, I am a strategist, it's a lie. It's a firm of people. You need the tax strategists. You need attorneys. You need financial advisors. Financial advisors from the investment side, from the retirement side, and also from the insurance side. You need all of these on your side. You need accountants who are going to make sure you keep the books correctly in a strategized manner. You need the CPAs and the tax preparers to prepare the taxes that are already structured for you. You need loan officers. You need loan officers to give you the right amount of loans so that you can invest. You need real estate brokers to be able to get you whether commercial property, residential, or whatever property. You also need energy. You need all these people in the game. It is a game. And you have to invest. Rather than investing in some crazy stuff, this is where we should be investing. That's what has made Jewish people who they are in America. They own America. We too can own America.
A few times you said that's why you need people like us, as far as strategy wise. So let me ask you a question. Entrepreneurs and investors often face unique financial challenges. What advice would you give them to better manage taxes and create a solid financial plan?
That's a great question. Great question. That could be taken from any angle. I mean, at times I tend to talk too much about short questions, but I'll tell you why. Because there's so many things flowing in my head. So entrepreneurs, when you're an entrepreneur, the problem with entrepreneurship in our communities is that our priorities are not right. Mm-hmm. Most companies in our communities, they start within 3 years, they go like this, and then before you know it, they're like that. And then we start saying, no, maybe there was a problem here. Oh, they did this because maybe I'm a black guy, that they did this, they did that, they did. Our mindsets, many of us, we start building businesses under very, very wrong foundations. Mm-hmm. Why? Because at times we're too cheap to even have the basics, the things that we need to have in a business. Let me tell you, one of the most important things you need to have in your business is bookkeeping. Most of our people don't keep books. You see people in our communities who have businesses for $500,000, $10 million, even $10 million, they don't have proper books and records. They don't. So if you don't have statistics, you don't know where your business is going. It means that the first day that you have a compliance requirement, you will not be able to justify it. Bookkeeping is so critical to business, to sustaining your business. Because that's the only thing. When you go from one year to the other, this year probably you knew what you used this money for. But the second year, you've forgotten what happened in year one. And most of the time, we prepare our taxes with the wrong people. We're just struggling to make sure, hey, please, I just want to get a refund. Please, I just want a refund. Please do something. So at times we even go and do some dodgy things because we just want to get a refund. Mm-hmm. Or we just want to do this. And then you're doing these things with somebody who is not a qualified person. He just does that and does it. And then when you have maybe a compliance question, you start looking for that guy, he's not there. Number one, we should do things right. We should do things, have an accounting system when we have a business. Structure our businesses correctly. Most people just go and open LLCs. They don't even know the meaning of an LLC that they're opening. They don't know what they're opening. Most people, they commingle their businesses with everything. They don't have a separate thing between their business and their personal. There's no separation. All those things, when we do them, we are killing our business gradually. Statistics is what's going to grow your business. When you have made the foundations of your business, there's no business without a system. You have to have a proper system. That's why I say bookkeeping, system, accountability, all those things that you need to do in order to make sure that your business is, number one, is compliant with the law. And number two is you have the statistics that you can use to scale the business. And if someone was to come to you in your business and ask for you for any supporting document, you can give it without a problem. And then also, you don't become too cheap that you're just, this thing we call refund, benefits. That's what is putting us in where we are. Benefits. Benefits is our biggest problem. Anybody who's on benefit is because There are some people who are, but they have a reason to be on benefits. There are some people they have a reason to be on benefits. Mm-hmm. But if you are a strong guy and you're doing things you're doing, I don't want to hear benefits. Mm. Every time you get into benefits, you just killed your ability to build any wealth. There are many people in our communities who cannot work beyond $15,000 a year because they say, oh, it's going to stop my benefits. Instead of growing your income, you decide that my life is I'm going to be broke. Mm-hmm. You just destroy your own self. Our problem is we need to get our foundations right. And we need to get our mindsets to completely change from being that person who believes that I am struggling to get that benefit from the government. No person has ever taken anybody to wealth. Never. It doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. It doesn't exist. What takes you to wealth is your ability. When you look at the wealthy people, when you tell Donald Trump, for example, that you are worth 10 million, he will tell you, no, I'm worth 20. Mm. Because the more people see that you have money, the more you get access to money to be able to build your wealth. If you tell people that I am somebody who is on benefits, guess what? Nobody will ever give you nothing. Mm. And the system of capitalism is that way. So it is all about mindset. Mindset, looking for the best people to help us within our community will make us win.
Man, boy, you dropping nuggets after nuggets, Charles, man. I only got a couple more questions for you because you went through almost everything, man. I know you got to go help somebody build some generational wealth, man. So let me ask you, Charles, man, how does CHN Advisors continue to make wealth building more accessible for people who might feel left out of traditional financial planning conversations?
Great question. Because most people think that when we speak about this, we're only talking to the top 1%, to those people who can afford it. That's why we're on all platforms that give us a chance to speak. Mm-hmm. The first thing is here. The first thing is educating people. Because people, what I'm telling you today, there are many people who are listening to this platform. They've never heard somebody speak like this. They've never heard it.
I'm one of them.
Yes. They've never heard somebody speak like this. Because to them, we are in that circle where we've been taught differently, and that's why we're stuck in that place where we are. Mm-hmm. We have to completely change the way we think. So number one is education. We want people in our community. Let me tell you something. You might say what you want to say. We, the Africans, we work harder than anybody in this United States of America. Would you agree?
I agree totally.
We work harder than anybody in this country. But do we get the benefits of people who work hard? No. We're struggling to survive. Why? Because nobody has given us that education. Our mindset, we are like slaves in the mind in here. We have been taught to think otherwise. For example, let me give you an example. When we talk about politics, for example, our mindset is, we always looking, the wealthy need to pay their fair share. The wealthy need to pay more taxes. That's not my problem. I don't care if the wealthy don't pay taxes. Mm-hmm. I care about me becoming wealthy and playing the game of the wealthy. So whatever the wealthy are doing, if they pay taxes, it won't come into your pocket. It will not affect you in any way. Mm-hmm. So if he's doing something that is helping him avoid taxes, there is nothing. The tax code, there's only one tax code in the United States of America. One tax code. There's no tax code for the wealthy and a tax code for the less wealthy. Many people in our communities have been made to feel that there's a tax code for the wealthy. There's only one tax code. Mm. And that tax code, whatever Donald Trump is doing, CJ can do it as well. Mm. Whatever Elon Musk is doing, you can do it as well. You must not do it at the scale. You do it at your scale. Mm-hmm. And you will take the same tax benefits as he does. That's why I tell people that the first step is income generation. Let's build ourselves to be able to generate income. And then once we generate that income, we get into our communities. Let's be more inquisitive. It's not only about looking at dancers who are shaking their waists and things their bums and things like that. We should get away from all those things that are becoming a distraction to us. We cannot become the society which is continuously being distracted and the other people are playing the game. we should start playing their game as well. And when you start playing that game, it means that you start looking for where can I get the real knowledge on how the system works. Now that I made money, can I invest in somebody? One of our biggest problems is cost. We always think cheap. If you want the best people to help you, wealth is not cheap. There's a price to it. You have to change your mindset from costs to return on investment. If you tell me that, Charles, if you come to Charles and say, Charles, tell me, what can you do for me? Those are the type of questions I want to hear. Charles, what can you do for me? Charles, if I paid you $5,000, $10,000, what do I get in return? And if any time somebody tells me that, if you give me 5,000, I'll give you 50,000, game. I'm game. If you tell me that you can give me 10,000 and I'll give you 50,000, I'm game. But if you come to me and say, what's your cost? And then your first thing is about, oh, this is too expensive. You didn't even ask the right question. Cost for you is more important than the return on investment. Wealth will not come as a basis of costs. Wealth come as a basis of return on your investment.
I like that.
Let's ask the right questions. Let's do the right things. Let's go the right routes. Education is what's going to change our communities. So to answer your questions, it's all about educating our people step by step. We talk about this to our people so that our people start thinking differently. We have a lot of people. And when I say this, I'm not saying that we're at the bottom pole. We're not the bottom. We have evolved significantly. There's a lot of super people. You go to NASA, you meet black people like you and I. You meet everybody there. All these people who are making all these great things, most of the times in our own communities, you're working with somebody who is maybe a Jewish guy who's making $1 million like yourself. He has all sorts of assets around him because he has the best people who are supporting him. And then you are taking 50% of your own income and giving to Uncle Sam because nobody is there to support you, because you don't have the right people in your community. We need to change our mindsets and start working with people in terms of return on investment. Because every time you pay $300 to do your tax return, you just paid your wealth away. $300 is great. And then somebody gives you a refund. Or maybe somebody plays with your taxes and then gives you a refund. Maybe he just evaded taxes for you. You think you did well because you got that $5,000 back? No. The game should be, how do I make it in a way that this tax return will give me access to $1 million to acquire assets? That's where wealth is.
Man, I'm liking it, man. I'm loving it. Man, I'm at a loss of words right now for you, Charles, man. So let me just ask you, man. You've built this amazing company, man, CHN Advisors, with a mission to empower others, which you've been talking about this whole time. So just let me ask you, man, what's your next step for you and the company, man?
Great question. CHN Advisors has been doing some great things. And on our platform today, we have a significant number of people that we're helping them structure their estates to building wealth for them. We tell our clients, mantras is that when you work with CHN Advisors, you're buying at least one real estate every year. At least one real estate every year. The question is, how do you buy that? Because you save the taxes, you leverage your income, you acquire assets. The next year, you use that asset to avoid more taxes, take the money that you were supposed to give to Uncle Sam and buy more assets. The next year, you do the same thing. You have just gone out of that circle of the rat race, and then you're now building wealth. Guess what? Guess what that gives to us? It gives us credibility. Our clients are happy. They are paying us money, but they are seeing extraordinary value. Easy value. That is money that was supposed to go to Uncle Sam. Now I just structured it and built wealth with it. Multiply assets that I own, and every year I'm buying assets. Every year I have money to put in the stock market. Every year I have money. I've structured my retirement in a way that I have self-directed and multiplied it by 10 in buying assets using other people's money. When you do these things for any person, that person sees value immediately. And what do you get? You get credibility. Because we have built credibility. The next stage of CHN Advisors, we have a company called CHN Capital. CHN Capital is a private equity firm. With these same people that we're working with, We're going to take it to start building our own America, just like the wealthy are doing. Instead of using someone else to be acquiring this asset, building all these skyscrapers we have there, CHN Capital will be our own private equity company, which is leveraging the people who are on our platform to provide them even multiple wealth so that they become the owners of their own destinies. That is the game. CHN Capital is the next step of CHN Advisors. It's a private equity firm that leverages all these people. And we want my game. I tell people that if we do what I say, if we can do it over 1, 2, 3 years, we are all in the top 1%. And we can do that. Look at the tax code. The tax code says every income that you generate by working pays a lot of taxes. The income that you generate by just sitting in the beach, and that income is coming in the form of dividends, income of capital gains, they pay very little taxes. Why? Because the wealthy are the people who are sitting at the beach. So the structure is for them. So we too can move that ladder. Get out of that place and start getting assets so that we too can be sitting at the beach and not paying taxes. So CHN Advisors, CHN Capital is about moving. Not only are we going to save people on taxes, but we are going to be the natural step of building the estates that will create our wealth. The private equity is our next step. It's our definite next step. But it goes with all of us in our communities. We have to come out of our communities and win. American dream is in 3 things. We want to mitigate taxes. Use the tax mitigated to acquire wealth by leveraging other people's money. And then once we acquire wealth, we protect that wealth. Then we too are living our American dream.
I'm with you, man. I'm with the American dream. So Charles, man, finally, where can our listeners connect with you and learn more about your services and resources for financial planning, man?
First thing, we are CHNadvisors.com. www.chnadvisors.com. You go there, you can book a free discovery call with Charles, and then Charles will be able to take you. We tell people there are 3 sets of people. We tell people if you're not making income generation, we can help you. We help scale companies. We have a marketing arm. Let me tell you, if you have a business in America and you're not marketing, you're not going anywhere. Marketing is the biggest thing to building wealth, to generating income. Marketing is critical to generating income because we now have all platforms to be able to reach out to people. So we have a marketing arm as well within CHN Advisors. So basically, what do? To reach to us, you just need, if you go to Charles Njoya, you'll see a lot of resources that we have pushed there in our Facebook, in our Instagram, in our YouTube. Type in my name, you just have a slew of information. And then you click, if you call us, call at our office phone number, 832-901-0167. 832-901-0167. Or you go to www.chnadvisors.com and then you book a free discovery call with Charles. It's a free 1-hour discovery call. We get to know what your situation is and we give you value within that hour. We have a free discovery call. This is time for taxes. And I know there are so many of us. If you are here and you're paying anything over $50,000 in taxes, you want to talk to me like yesterday. Because we are going to convert that into a wealth building machine for you. That is what America wants you to do. It's not about paying fair share. It is about going out there and doing what the wealthy do. You too can do it.
Man, you heard that, everybody. You too can do it. You heard it from Charles, man, the financial guru over for the day, man. You too can do it. So Charles, man, thank you so much, man, for sharing your journey and your wisdom with us today. Your insight on financial planning, taxes, and generational wealth building are invaluable. To our listeners, if you're ready to take control of your finances and build a lasting legacy, be sure to connect with Charles and check out www.chnadvisors.com. www.chnadvisors.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review, subscribe, and share this conversation with someone who can benefit from Charles' expertise. Until next time, stay financially empowered, stay motivated, and keep chasing your dream. This your boy CJ Moneyway and my man Charles signing off. We out of here. Peace.
Thank you for listening to the CJ Moneyway Show. Don't forget to share this episode with your friends, leave a comment, and drop a review. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday and Friday for more inspiring journeys. Who knows? Your story might be next.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.com/zip. That's ziprecruiter.com/zip. ziprecruiter.com/zip.
When we started writing our thoughts down on paper, it opened up endless possibilities. Ideas could grow beyond the borders of the mind, and it changed the world. Somewhere along the way, we lost touch with paper, distracted by devices made for every purpose except for thinking and focus. On edge, waiting for the next notification. But what if new technology didn't pull us away from paper, but brought us closer to it? Listen. That's not paper. It's the sound of the new Remarkable Paper Pro, rewriting the future. A paper tablet with a true color ink display, gentle reading light, and unheard of tactility. With digital features for taking notes, thinking, and organizing, without any distractions. Paper is about to change the world again. Get your paper tablet at remarkable.com today.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're grinding out bicep curls, or muscling the couch across the living room, crushing morning miles, or sprinting through back-to-back meetings, Smoothie King has fuel to help you maximize your workouts, own your recovery, and elevate your game. Give your body the energy, protein, and power it needs with a lineup of delicious smoothies made to help you conquer your goals. Only at Smoothie King.